our goal today says that I consider the lingo of my topic. What does that word lingo mean? Gabriel.
Like language is kind of like a way of communicating.
Language, the way they communicate, the way they talk. If you ever watch Game Show Network, there's actually an old game show called Lingo that's kind of like Wordle. And lingo is just kind of the verbiage or the things you hear when you're talking about a certain topic. If we're talking about COVID, some of the lingo you probably hear now that you might not have been as familiar with when you were, Ronnie, that you might not have been as familiar with would be things like vaccine, quarantine, epidemic, research, CDC, FDA, all these things you may not have known about before, but you hear about a lot because it's about a certain topic. Today we're going to talk about looking at the lingo of your topic. I'm going to show you what that looks like with my own. So, we're researching GMOs. I'm going to add some stuff to my notebook. You don't have to do this. I'm doing this with my topic first. I'm going to flip to my next clean page. Yours is probably going to be after your long jot. It might be after a page of research, though. And I'm going to write at the top, GMO lingo. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a quick little list here of like 10 to 12 words that have to do with GMOs. So I'm going to start off with genetic engineering. Ooh, there's two E's there. I'm going to say resistant. I'm going to say genes, trait, splicing, DNA. I might say herbicide, insecticide, I might say pesticides. So I'm getting a lot of side chatter. These are just words I'm coming up with that I've read about a lot in my articles. Some of these are in the same articles we've read together. Some of them are not. Nathaniel. Protesters. Frankenfoods. Organisms is another good one.
The everlasting tomato?
You mean tomato?
No, it's, yeah.
All right, so there's 12. I'm just going to start with those 12. When I'm looking at the lingo of a topic, I want to go through and I want to think about how are words connected? How can I essentially sort these words in order to make sense of them or in order to figure out how they're related to my topic? You know what? Since I only put a few of the articles worth of words up here, I think I could split this into even two categories. I think I could split this into words to do with genetically engineering something and I think that most of my stuff is going to fit in there. Let's see how much it fits. Well, genetic engineering fits. Resistant, because that means it resists other genes or it resists certain traits. Genes definitely fits. I don't think protesters fits here. I'm going to leave that one on the list still. Trait, for sure. Splicing. Yeah, because it's splicing genes in each other. DNA. Frankenfoods. Doesn't really, it has to do with genetic engineering, but not the act of physically doing the genetic engineering, not splicing and putting new traits in. So I'm not going to put Frankenfoods on that one. Same with herbicides, insecticides, pesticides. That's not something I do when I'm actually genetically engineering something. But I do organisms. That means a living thing, and that's what I'm engineering. Okay. So now I have protesters, Frankenfoods, insecticide, herbicide, and pesticide left. You know what? I think these words to do with GMO, disagreement, I'm going to put protesters and frankenfoods. I wonder if I could put these three in there as well, because that is what they're arguing about not using. Because the argument is it's safer to have pesticides, herbicides, and insecticides, or is it safer to have GMOs? So I just made a quick little list for myself. What are some of the big important words? The reason it's important to think about these words is because you guys are doing a lot of writing about your topic and a lot of teaching about your topic. When you're teaching or writing about a topic, you need to be well versed in the language of that topic. You need to be able to use these words in your own writing, in your own delivery when you're teaching people about your topic. Now, I chose to do mine by just 2 different subtopics. There's actually several ways you could choose to sort your words. I'm going to ask everyone right now to flip in your reader's notebook to a page that looks like this. Ways to sort key vocabulary. It should come after this page. It looks like this. Ways to sort key vocabulary.
Also, was this my mistake, or did you say that this week you were going to do something of this?
Yes, we should still get to it this week, I think, but it might not be till, it might be Monday. I have to double check and see how far we're going.
One page.
Yeah. All right. So today, you guys have a goal. Your goal is first going to be to make yourself a list of 10 to 12 GMO words. If you are a person that has only gotten through like 6 or 7 articles instead of like 4 or 5 articles instead of like 6 to 8, you might not have as many words. I would rather you think about words that truly have to do with your topic than just start throwing words in there that don't really make sense. So I would prefer 10 to 12, but if you only got like 6, 7, 8, as long as they're good, that's okay. You can always add to it later if you need to. Especially since we don't have like the internet to go back and look at the articles today. Once you make that little list, you're going to sit down and you're going to think about, how do I want to sort these words? Well, there's 6 different options. I say 6, but really it's kind of like 5 because 2 of them are very similar. To sort your words. You can sort them into familiar and unfamiliar words. Which words do you know the meaning of? Which ones are you unsure of? You could sort them according to central ideas. So these are the words that have to do with GMOs. These are the words that have to do with the protesters. These are the words that have to do with like the types of GMOs. Those are 2 the same thing. You could sort them into words that are positive, neutral, or negative. If you're doing bullying or immigration or child labor, I saw a lot of people use that last time. Chronologically, I saw a lot of people who did atomic bomb. Like, these are words that have to do with the 1950s weaponry and the 1960s weaponry. You could sort by subtopic, which is what I did. Actually, mine's more by central idea. But central idea and subtopic are the 2 that are kind of similar here. You could sort them by parts of speech, nouns, describing words, which is also an adjective, verbs, which are action words. So there's just 6 different ways you could sort. So today I'm going to ask you guys to, in your notebook, jot down, like I said, 10 to 12 words. Oh my gosh. 10 to 12 words. Once you have those 10 to 12 words, figure out how could you sort these that make sense. When you're finished with your sort, and then you're going to actually sort them. You might have more than 2 groups. I wouldn't try to go more than 4 different categories if you could help it, because it starts to get a little hairy after that. But if you need to, the case can be made. When you get to this point, you're going to come up and show it to me. If the internet is working, we will research at least 2 more of your articles today. If the internet is not working, then you can just do some independent reading, and hopefully it will come back at some point today, so we're able to kind of catch up with some of our
Special chairs.
Is that would have anything to do with what I'm saying right this second? Okay, I will get that in just a minute. Questions about this? Pick your words, sort your words, show me your words, read, or research. But probably read, I'm not hopeful that the internet's coming back. Awesome. All right, well, table 1 has special chairs today.